I don't know if I've ever told you, but I need to tell you that all of you are my heroes. Did I ever tell you you're my heroes? You're everything I would like to be. And I get to fly higher than an eagle because you are the wind beneath my wings. Good afternoon. And so I want to start by telling you it's not your fault. The fact that only one woman out of 100, and that's pushing it, is happy, healthy, and wealthy. And you might wonder to yourself, well, how can that be so? It's because being all three requires information that we as women have not yet learned. Now, I'm just going to give you a little background. Out of confusion comes order. So I want to clear a little bit up with all of you about the wage gap and how it is that we are looking at 2054 to earn the same as men, even with the Lilly Ledbetter Act. As you know, there's a bottleneck. It doesn't work for everybody. And of course, as solopreneurs, you know, this doesn't really affect us as much unless we believe it affects us. Okay, so for 5,000 years, men have been pretty well conducting business. And over those 5,000 years, the context for success in 21st century business is masculine, or it is a certain way. It's not right, wrong, good, or bad. And for men, they've been doing it so long that they're inherently confident. And that's the one thing we're missing. For 5,000 years, we have been doing something different, which required a whole different set of skills. So it'd be like sending all the men home to manage households, get lunches ready, you know, prepare meals, sit down. I mean, how many years does it take us to prepare a meal and everything comes out at the same time so you can actually sit down with your guests, right? In the beginning, that doesn't happen. It takes years. So we actually come into 21st century behind the 8 ball. We really do. And to ask to be paid the same as men, we really don't deserve it yet. We're not confident. We are capable, but we don't have the same confidence as men do. You know, they'll step up for things that they're not qualified for. We won't do that because if we don't have what we want, if we're not happy, healthy, and wealthy, and we're capable, then there's a disconnect. Something isn't right. Because if you're capable of earning 6 and 7 figures and you're not doing it, they're simply missing information. Now, I've been in personal development for 25 years. I was in corporate for 45 years. And not one after the other. They kind of overlapped, right? And the last 12 years, I've become a global master on teaching women and some men the principles of success in Think and Grow Rich. In 2007, I bought into business with the world's most famous thought leader on Think and Grow Rich. Since that time, I've written 7 books. I have 15,000 hours teaching, live and live stream. I've had hundreds of clients, hundreds of them. And my flagship process, the 8 Essentials, is a simple rinse and repeat quarterly course that covers everything from setting goals that you'll achieve to your mindset to accountability. So over all these years, for my clients, primarily women over the last 8 years, I have created the fixes for every complaint: lack of focus, lack of organization, right? Too much on our plate. I set goals, but I don't always reach them. And haphazard or sporadic results do not create success. So what has happened is over the last dozen years, my vision and mission is to teach women the things that they don't know, that I've spent 12 years figuring out for women because it wasn't there that I could find. I have spent all of this time developing unique processes. So what you're going to hear today, it may sound familiar to you, but you've not heard it this way. And consider that every day, if you're learning, you're growing in conscious awareness of your infinite potential. Learning is our miracle grow. Now, for the last 28 consecutive business quarters, hundreds and hundreds of women have gone through my flagship program, the 8 Essentials of Performance and Achievement. And inside that are all the structures that you need. What we're talking about today is having a foundation. It's like we're building a house and we don't know how to pour a pier or a footing. So we're not going to build a very big house if we don't have a good infrastructure. The things that I never learned and could never find anywhere and have spent the last 12 years figuring out is exactly what it takes to set and achieve a goal every time, every quarter at 97% or better. Here's why. Success is a two-pronged fork, and I alluded to this. Men have both prongs. They're capable and they've got the confidence. We are capable, but what's missing is our deservability. Because if we're not happy, healthy, and wealthy, and we're not setting our goals and achieving them every quarter consistently, we don't believe yet that we deserve it. And my flagship program has a number of unique concepts such as belief engineering, universal laws. And belief engineering has to do with instilling perfect faith that you will have that goal. Building faith, the same kind of faith you have with God right now. You know that you know that you know it. I cannot talk you out of it. I've spent all these years distinguishing what are the steps required. And what you're going to find out is that you've already done this and you know some of the things already. So it's really a matter of assessing, what do I already know? What do I need to look at differently? So my work is really going to stretch you to think. It's going to bump up against what you believe. However, I will tell you that for every negative thought you have, there's a matching positive. And you can learn to flip the negative to the positive. That's one of the universal laws. So the two prongs. The missing bit for women is we do not believe that we deserve success. How do we know? We can tell by our results. The only way you can see what you really, really believe for yourself, doesn't matter what I believe, the only way is through your results. Because your results will always match what you believe. But if nobody ever taught you how to create a belief, well, then it would be pretty difficult to increase your results. So the process that we use for setting goals every quarter is the same process that was used for you to believe in God, and it's through repetition. So you notice I mentioned 28 cycles since 2013. Repetition is how you learn. So you have to be a woman who is willing to practice, who is willing to give her word, who is willing to commit. The great thing is that I've never found another program that does this. And every person who goes through my program, Haley will affirm, and there's a number of you in this group that have been in my programs. I see one over there a couple times. Yeah, that you will achieve your goals, because what I'm going to give you is not only what the 12 golden rules of results are, and if you use them all, you will create that goal and achieve it every quarter. Now, why is that important? Success always requires aptitude, the ability to do it, and your belief that you deserve it. The second thing that you need to know about setting a goal that you'll achieve consistently is that confidence is a byproduct of consistent achievement. There's no course that you can go out and become confident. I mean, people may tell you that, but over 15,000 hours or 14, I think it's 15 now. What I discovered with my clients is that confidence grows with every goal, every quarter that they achieve. They set it, they're outside their comfort zone, right? And they achieve it, and you go, oh, gosh, I did that, right? And I was really good at it. Well, that makes you feel good. Confidence is a muscle that grows in direct proportion to its use. So if it's a byproduct of consistent achievement, I am annoyed, really, and ticked off, really, that no one I've ever met in 12 years has ever taken a course in setting goals. That actually, when you follow that, you will achieve it over and over again. Now, you can read lots of long things, but I've created the 12 golden rules of results. And what happens is they're the foundation of your success. They're the foundation of your confidence. And confidence also builds deservability. So in order for us to ask for what we deserve and get paid, to be happy, healthy, and wealthy, we're just missing some information, and I'm here to give it to you. Are you ready? Okay, you might want to take out a paper and pencil. And for those of you who have heard these before because you've worked with me, consider that today you're at a much higher level of conscious awareness than you were when we worked together. Therefore, you're going to hear these things differently than you ever did before. Perception actually changes with every new bit of information that you get. So why we dig our heels in that we're right and someone else is wrong is ludicrous, really. And what would life be like if we couldn't make ourselves right or make someone else wrong? It changes the way you think. Because what's true for me today is only true for me. And tomorrow, when I get new information today, it's going to change. My view of the world is going to amp up. I'm going to be more objective, right? I'm going to be more clear. I'm going to see better solutions. I'm not going to be bogged down by fear. I'm looking at faith. And that's part of the work I do. And I actually teach you how you got faith. How is it that you believe in God? Let's just say, whatever that God is, doesn't matter, that energy, that love, you will see that you've already used these. The power is in distinguishing that you've done it. And you go, oh, I certainly have. And you get really clear about the steps. And so that is what my work is about. Well, I'm going to give you these 12 golden rules, and you put your goal through this pace. If you put your goal that you want, and I say 3 months, you can have a large philanthropic goal, but honestly, over all the years I've found, particularly for women who really want to heap a lot of stuff on their plate, and they resist me as we remove everything off your plate except one thing. That's another one of those disconnects. We come into 21st century business overwhelmed because at home we're busy wiping boo-boos, wiping tears, telling the whole story, making everybody feel better. But in business, there's no crying in business. Nobody wants to hear your story or my story. They want bullet points. They don't want to hear the story It's different. So we have some learning to do, and it's fun. It really is fun. Learning is the miracle grow. It is our unique gift from God. No other living being can take an idea, which is thought energy, and turn it into physical form. In fact, we're very much like Merlin. Now, you know, in Merlin, in the movies and the books, it appeared that he did things overnight, didn't it? But what if he didn't? What if it actually took him decades, just like it takes you and me? We are alchemists. All the ideas are already here. When you get one, the trick is to put them through these 12 golden rules. That idea that you get to make sure it's a really good goal. Now, if you have any questions, I was just going to look in here. There's all these things. And life is like mashed potato. Oh, a heap like mashed potatoes. Interesting. I use mashed potatoes when you're falling in love with your goal. It's like when you see your boyfriend's, your first crush's face in the mashed potato, when you know he's coming in the room with your back to the door. That's the kind of excitement you want for your goal. So if you're ready, I want to take you, oh no, I do want to do one more thing. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep you excited before I give you these 12 golden rules, because I'm telling you, once you have them, now the implementation takes something, and that's why you need my flagship program, or you would want to do it so that you can implement. But honestly, there will be one or two of you that'll take it and run with it, and I say, God bless you, go do it. The reality is when you do it with other people, it's more effective, it's a mastermind, but it's not required. Once you see this, you're going to go, okay, I get it. But you're going to have to think differently. So I want you to pretend you're trying on something new. All right. Anything that I say, if it triggers you or you feel uncomfortable, switch out the word, because we only have one thought at a time. And I may just say the thing that you've been waiting to hear. You're here for a reason. It isn't by accident. So what I want to tell you is the only thing that we ever really learned about goals, SMART goals. How many people, give me a thumbs up if you've ever used SMART goals? Yeah, okay. Well, I'm here to tell you that they were designed for middle management. They were never designed to build a goal of your dreams. That's not how they were designed. So when people use SMART goals, they fail. And that's another thing that really irritates me. That's all we've had. So we do our best to plug that square peg into a round hole, and well, I've got SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. The problem is that two of those, the achievable and realistic, will douse your dream, because when you have a dream that's bigger than what you did before and you're willing to step out, it is not achievable. You don't know how you're going to do it, and is not realistic right now. So SMART goals are perfect for tasks to reach your goal. So when you set your goal for 90 days, then you'll reverse engineer, go back to the first week and figure out what are the tasks I need to do each week. And they are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. That's all we ever had. And you can't use it for big dreams. So that's another reason why only 3% of people actually are happy, healthy, and wealthy. Remember that sporadic or haphazard results do not build the confidence which yields your deservability. We're creating a new faith in you by setting a goal based on these 12 golden rules that you know you will achieve with a 97% or better rate every single quarter. Okay, so you ready? Okay, the first thing that you want to know, and so there are 12 of them, and you don't have to do a lot of notes, just jot down, okay, what you think it is. And then, you know, when this is over, I'm going to invite you, it's perfect timing, to a 5-day, an hour each day, the Art of Results, where I'm going to teach you everything that no one else has ever taught you. There are about 4 things that I do that no one else does. And I know you've been out there taking courses. I know that for years you've been investing money and you've been disappointed sometimes. I get it. I totally get it. It is, it's unfortunate. However, I'm here to tell you that my mission and vision is that you can do this, that there are very few things that you need to complete the puzzle for yourself. But the biggest one is confidence and deservability. And those things you can't learn to do without achieving consistently. So the first thing you want to know is the purpose of a goal. First of all, it's got to motivate you into action. Quite honestly, you get to set your own goal. And if it doesn't motivate you pretty much every day, you think about it, vision boards, discussing with your mastermind partners, etc. Pick another goal. Now, there's a woman on this call. I love her. You'll hear her. I think she's on the 3rd day, Janet Ickes. So Janet loves wolves. And Melinda's on here too. And Melinda and Janet and I and a whole bunch of other people took a cruise last September. We went out of South Carolina. Anyway, before that, Janet had posted a picture of a group of wolves moving from one point to another. And then on the trip, on the way back, she was wearing a wolf t-shirt. Well, I had a big insight about this because what I noticed in the wolves moving from point A to point B, that there were 3 in front, then there was a group of 5, then there was a big group, then there was a group of 5, then there was 1. And so when I ask people, what's the role of the 3 in the front? Everybody says, well, those are the leaders. What if they aren't? So I did a little research. The 3 in the front are the pace animals. They're the old tired ones. They've been through the treks. They've been attacked. And by the way, the 5 behind them are the strongest to protect them in case they're attacked. And then the middle group, which are average wolves. I don't know what average wolves are, but you get what I'm saying. Then there's 5 more to protect that group and the leader who's at the end. It occurred to me that we do not allow ourselves to set our own pace. How many times have you been in corporate? You had the time, your work was in order, you had the time to take off, you weren't feeling good that day, maybe you had your period, right? And you decided that you're going to stay home. You've got kids, right? And this is so exciting to take a day off. Call it a mental health day. For me, I was so guilty. Was I sick enough? Should I really have stayed there? What will people think of me? Who's going to get a hold of my work? So I never really enjoyed those days that I deserved and that I earned. So women, you set the pace, whether you're a business of 1, 21, or 2001. If you decide you're taking an afternoon off and you're going to sit back and read magazines and drink tea, you can do that and it's okay. The purpose of a goal is to motivate you into action. Now, the next thing is I'm going to ask you the question. You can write down true or false. Okay, so let's go with number 1. And you're just going to put true or false for yourself and do it very quickly because what we'll do is just assess. We're going to assess what you already know. Listen, you all know things about setting goals. We just want to get them all together. The ones that work, right? Okay. So it's got to motivate you into action. Now here's the true and false. It's a little tricky. A goal can be something you want or something you need. Write down true or false. Don't think about it, okay? Because it's an assessment. We first want to see what you know, and then the things that you didn't know, we're going to clear up. So you'll have all 12. Okay, the next one is be sure that you map out every step to reach your goal before you start. True or false? That's number 2. Number 3 is focus on why you want the goal instead of how you're going to accomplish it. Is that true or false? Focus on how you're going, on why you want it, as opposed to how you're going to get it done. Okay. The next one is pick a general date by when you want to achieve that goal. Okay, true or false? Now, this is a good one. Share your goal with anyone who will listen to it. Declare it into the world. True or false? Set an exact amount of money you're going to need to reach your goal. Now, for a 3-month goal, that's not a hard thing to do. If it was a 33-month goal, then what you do is you won't know how much it's going to be. So you pick a big number that's exciting, okay? Is that true or false? Set the exact amount of money you will need to achieve your goal, okay? The next one is set several goals to work on at the same time. True or false? Wait until you have the money before you start. Very important. Is that true or false? Wait until you have the money before you start. And you're going to grade yourself here shortly. You might be surprised how great you do. Your goal should scare you. You're going to be excited about it, but it also has to have a component of fear. True or false? If you see you're not going to make it on time, trim back the size of the goal. True or false? Writing your goal down has big value. True or false? Okay, you don't need a dime to start on your goal, to take 2 steps. True or false? Okay, how'd you do? Well, you don't know yet. I have to tell you. Okay, so I wish I could see everybody. I think I can if I go to the gallery view. Oh my goodness, look at all these beautiful women. Oh, this is much better than looking at myself. I see myself all the time for 6 months, in fact. Oh, God. Okay. All right. So when I ask you, because I want to stay on time here, I want you to raise your hand for true or false. And I just kind of want to look. Now, look, there's nothing right or wrong about this. Nobody's evaluating you. Don't allow yourself to evaluate yourself. It doesn't matter. We're just looking at what's so. It's kind of like what Zig Ziglar says, it's a checkup from the neck up. You don't have to share with anybody. We're not trading papers today. Right, Anna, let me see your paper so I can grade yours and you can grade mine. Very good. Okay, so the purpose of a goal is to motivate you into action, okay? The first one is a goal can be something you want or something you need. How many people said true? Okay, how many people said false? It's false. The first golden rule is that your goal always is something you want. Yeah, Marilyn got it right. I could see that. Pradna, this should look very familiar to you. I've studied with your guy since '07 intensively. So this should resonate with you. And I hope that this is resonating with everybody, that you can see that you've done these things before. You can get this. Okay. The next one is, so it's always something you want. And I'll tell you why. The trick is it feels good. Now, I teach neuroplasticity and quantum physics and universal law. So my program brings in so much foundational information that you get on a cellular level that you could build that house to the sky. Because as you grow your business and you earn more and more money, you must keep up your conscious awareness. As you grow your business, you're going to have new obstacles. You have to learn to deal with them and stay objective. Then you're going to earn more money. Then you're going to have more obstacles. So by the time you get to 6, 7, 8 figures, you're a vibrational match for that amount of money. And that's why people who win the lottery end up worse off in most every case. They are not a match. So learning is our miracle growth. So you have to keep learning. If you stop learning, which is our gift, that is our unique gift as human beings, is learning. When you stop, you basically backslide. It's not a bad thing. It's just you're not going to move forward. There is no standing still. You're either moving forward or backward. And every time you learn, you're moving forward. So constantly be learning. This summit is perfect for this. Okay. Be sure to map out every step to reach your goal before you start. Who says that's true? Map out those steps. Awesome. I see head shaking. How many people shake their head no way? No. You don't want to know all the steps. In fact, that 3% doesn't know the steps. Well, that's terrible. It's much better when I know. No, it isn't. And I'll tell you why. You get really motivated by taking 2 steps, and you'll notice that as you take those 2 steps, the 3rd step is given to you. Kind of like if you were going to climb a mountain, right? You did all the work, you did the climbs, and you bought the shoes, and you finally got to Mount Kilimanjaro. And you're standing at the base of the mountain, and you are excited. This is not me, I would never. But anyway, let's say you are, right? You will not know how to get to that top of the mountain until both hands and feet are on the mountain, even if it's this much off the ground. As you reach up to find a handhold, the answer is given to you. You see, we're co-creators. The universe always has our back. And in my flagship program, you will be able to see when you're about this far from achieving your goal, because people and opportunities start showing up, taking you directly to the goal. We call that a coincidence, but it isn't. All right. Focus on why you want the goal rather than how you'll do it. How many people think you should focus on why instead of how? How many people disagree that you should focus on how you're going to do it? Well, you're all very smart because you want to focus. Well, okay. So it's an amazing, this group. Oh, there's another whole room over here. Hi, everybody. There's a whole bunch more people. Okay. Didn't see you before. All right. Hey, Anna. Hi, Janet. Hi, Marilyn. Oh, I love all this. Okay. Focus on why, not how. You only have one conscious thought at a time. How is going to bring up fear. You've never done it before. So you're going to be afraid. Now you'll see later, you do need a little bit of fear. Okay. But it's why you want it that makes you feel all warm and gushy. What's it going to make available for you, for your family, for your clients, for your referral partners, for the world? Why makes you feel good? So the answer is why, not how. Choose a general date by which you'll complete the goal. How many people agree with that? Oh, there's a few. Let me check the other room. Okay, I didn't catch this one. Choose a general date by which you'll achieve your goal. How many people agree? Oh, a couple. No. It's an exact date. You might say, well, how am I going to know? You're going to be saying it and declaring it is going to make you feel excited. This is all about amplitude of vibration, which you will learn if you work with me, should you choose to. So you want an exact date. It's much more exciting for me to say, well, it's December 1st, 2021, and I'm walking around in my beach house and I got it for 500,000 and I had 600 in my bank. You see how juicy that is? When you think about this every day, you want to feel good. It is that vibration. It's exactly like the vibration of the acorn that's planted in the ground. It's dying before it's planted. You slice it and dice it and look at it under a microscope. There's no oak tree. But as soon as you plant it, its DNA Its vibration attracts to it nourishment, sunshine, nitrogen, oxygen, and you can predict exactly when it will break through the ground and have a little oak tree. Not unlike our ideas. Our ideas that we hold for 2 to 3 months, that's what it takes. It takes at least a quarter to build a belief. Anybody who says 21 days, they're living in a vacuum. Okay, if that's all you did, maybe in 21 days, the reality is it can take up to a year to create a belief. But we're able to do it in 3 months. So those 3 months is when you're nurturing that spiritual seed, that idea that you've never done before. So you're protecting it while the vibration of your excitement begins to attract people and opportunities at the same vibration as yours to you. All right, the next one is share your goal with anyone who listens. How many people agree with that? Tell everybody. No, you don't tell anybody except your mastermind partners, people who are on the same level of awareness and are learning with you. The reason is because other people will try to talk you out of it. And not because they're mean, because they love you and they're afraid you're going to be successful and they don't want you to get hurt, particularly at home. I think it's Luke 4:1 that says that you'll never be a prophet in your own home. Keep it to yourself until you see the signs of people and opportunities showing up. Then you'll know you're this far. And what you're actually doing is you're planting that idea, impressing it into your subconscious where your beliefs are. Remember, you can't see your beliefs once they're there, but you can tell what they are by what you have. So we're simply taking your goal and creating a belief with it. And part of my training is belief engineering, because we were simply distinguishing how we got our beliefs and replicating. Remember, repetition is the first law of learning. Okay. Pick several goals to work on at the same time. How many people agree with that? Let's do several. Okay, no. So 1, and I alluded to it with women, we tend to do 21 goals and we do them all. The problem is none of them shine. So it's really important that you take everything off your plate. It doesn't mean you don't do things that you need. It doesn't mean you don't do other things. But your goal, remember, we're setting and achieving this goal to do it again and again and again, to grow your muscle of confidence, which will yield your deservability. So remember, confidence and deservability are not something you can go buy. I don't care how much money you have. It doesn't matter. You have to do this yourself. You have to be willing to put your goal through these paces. Okay. Wait until you have all the money to start. How many people think that's true? No, that's right. You don't need a dime to start, to take 2 steps. And I'm going to move through this quickly because we're almost done. So, and I want to stay close to the time here. So you want to have a little fear in any good goal. But just remember that the fear is your bench point to say, oh, this is a good goal, and then go back to why. So you're going to feel nervous because you've never done it. If you feel fearful, go, okay, this is a good goal. Now let me go back to why in the heck I'm doing it. What's it going to make available for me, for my clients, for my kids, for the world? Your work has to get out there. There are certain people that are meant to learn from you. And if you don't expand your business and your message, they may never learn it. Okay. Cut back on your goal if you see you're not going to make it. How many people think you should do that? That way you'll be sure to make it, right? No, never, ever, 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 ever. You can make it bigger, right? It's more exciting. Writing down your goal does have value. You can check out the Harvard study online where they followed a whole group of MBAs who wrote their goals down at Harvard 20 years later, they were making a phenomenal amount of money compared to all the rest of the people. Simply writing it down. Why? Because when you write it down, it feels good. Writing causes thinking, which brings up images and then emotions, and that raises your vibration. So when you go to move towards something, you've got a spring in your step. And the last one is you need no money to start. I think that's a repeat, isn't it? So you don't need any money. All right. So we are now at 3:43. I want to see if there's any questions or any 5 minutes. Oh, she gave me a thing. Okay. Whoa, you just underlined Haley's image of horses. Okay. So what I'd love for you to do is, from everything you've learned, if you would put in the message in the chat box, one thing that literally blew you away with all of this. And by the way, how did you do? How many people got all 10? Yeah, Janet, former client. Thank you, Janet. Well, it's okay. I mean, Janet's done the work. How many people got, oh, Susan, never mind. How many people got 5 or more? Correct. Okay, and you get the difference, right? You get the distinction. Okay, how many people got 8 or more? Ooh, I'm impressed. Okay, this is awesome. So in the chat box, I would love it if you would put one thing that you got today, the big takeaway, the one that you know that you will remember from now on. Okay, so just jot that in the chat box if you would, really quick, that I can save the file and look and see what you got for yourself. And I am putting in the box here the link for you to sign up for my 5-day challenge. It's free. It's the 5th through the 9th of October from 1 to 2, live workbook. You get all me. It's intense and it is recorded. Do it. Whether you move on or not, it doesn't matter. You will love this work. So remember this as we are at 3:45. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet, simple song of the lark. You honor me today, everyone. I am complete. Thank you.